does it mean to be stingy? Let me answer that by saying what it means to be generous. Then from that you understand the opposite is to be stingy. I want to answer it like that because our Shaykh is the most generous. He's a servant of the most generous. His name is Abdul Karim. So what it means to be generous? One thing, I'm saying simple thing. We like to say simple things. To be generous is not meaning that when I have extra, whatever it is, if it is time or possession or knowledge, anything, when I have extra, then I'm going to give. That is not generous. Okay? Generous is not saying, I have this, half I'm going to give it to you, half is mine. That's still not generous. Generous also does not mean, okay, I give you everything except for this thing that is for me. As Hazretleri Umar said to the Holy Prophet, Ya Rasulullah, I love you more than anyone except my own self. And the Holy Prophet says, Ya Umar, you haven't reached the complete faith. And Hazreteri Umar quickly said, I'm paraphrasing, he's saying that I love you more than myself. Don't think that he just changed his mind just like that. That was a rehearsal, Shareef, and he said, for us to understand. A man cannot just change his heart in a split second like that. We're talking about Hazreteri Umar here. Hazreteri Umar, who gave up his entire life for the Holy Prophet ﷺ. Gave his life, so how can he really claim that he loves himself more when he's put his life in front of the Prophet ﷺ to be taken? Generosity, it is one of the names, the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves the one who is generous. And there is a hadith Shareef where the Holy Prophet was saying, Allah loves generosity, and He loves the generous unbeliever more than the stingy believer. And in these days, Shaykh Effendi saying, Shaykh Mawlana saying, in these days so many people, especially they are not belonging to Islam, they will find safety through generosity. Only by being generous, by giving a lot of charity and kindness, they will find safety. So, in our way, we belong to the way of Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq. And what is the way of Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq? When he came to the presence of the Prophet ﷺ, and he was wearing the leaves from the date trees tying around his waist. And he came, Prophet ﷺ was smiling and saying to him, Ya Abu Bakr, what happened? Today, Ya Rasulullah, I've given everything for the sake of Allah, for the sake of Islam. Not even the clothes that he was wearing. He says he's given everything away. And Prophet says, what about your children and your family? Understand now, Hazreti Abu Bakr Siddiq. His language. You blink and you're not able to understand it. You blink, you cannot understand. Because his words, it's like the words of the prophets. Because Holy Prophet is saying, whatever Allah has put in my heart, I pour into the heart of Abu Bakr Siddiq. Understand how he answered this question. Prophet is saying, alayhi salatu wassalam, what about your children and your family? Did you leave anything to them? What did he say? I left them Allah and His Prophet. Understand? So who is possessing what? What he possessed at that time. So, in today's world, especially in these times, in these countries, everyone is very stingy. Because they're not taught how to share, number one. They're not taught how to share when they're young. Everyone, you have my own thing. This is my seat, my plate, my food, my toys, my this, my that. Maybe there's only 1 or 2 kids in the family, so it gets spoiled. Everyone is giving, and he's not taught to give to others. Only knowing how to take. How to take. Because this whole society now, it is based on desire. It's based on hawa. You look around, everything is based on your desire. You look in the magazine, every single word, every single page is based on desire. It awakens your desire. Even when you don't have that desire, you see something, you say, yeah, I want it. You're not hungry. You watch something, it's showing burger or pizza, because Americans, they love pizza and burger, then they get hungry. They spend billions of dollars to put all the nice sounds and color and everything squeezed into 30 seconds for you to awaken your desire. Now, once your desire is awakened so much like that, how you think you can be generous? Can you? When you are already brainwashed to say, I want, how then will you have space in your head or in your heart to say, I give? So, a stingy person is the poorest person because he's always in need. A generous person is the richest person because he's not in need. He doesn't need anything. And he's rich because he has things around him, but he doesn't need it. You're poor because you're always in need. May Allah never test us with that, inshallah. One of the reasons we pull ourselves away from the mess of this age of Dajjal. And live on top of the mountain to keep ourselves clean, to understand what is real and what is not real, what is fake and what is not fake. Inshallah. Still, we are not saying that we are completely shielded from it 100%. We're never saying that we are perfect, but we are trying, and we are holding on tightly to our share. So, you don't know how to share. From young, you cannot be generous. You're only taught how to take, but never how to give. At that time, it is in your nature now to be stingy. Stingy doesn't just mean, oh, I'm not going to give something to someone. Stingy also means when I give to someone, I'm going to count it. I'm going to count that I give. I'm going to keep a score. A stingy is only learning how to take and not to give. And a stingy person, you'll find it very difficult to enter into a paradise. You can be praying 50 times a day. But some way, somehow, the shaitan is going to get to you because our Lord is not stingy. A believer cannot be stingy. And our Prophet is generous. Wassalam. Yeah. As much is enough. Fatiha.